Everyone can be a superhero. I imagine by now you're saying, who's this Highlander fanboy weirdo telling me what's wrong with our culture? And I get that. I'll tell you more about my story shortly. Spoiler, it won't be a story of earning such and such degrees or making millions of dollars. It's a story of getting knocked down and getting back up again and feeling mostly satisfied and content with my choices along the way. It's a story of a guy who devoted himself to creating a system, but that's not the system I'm going to share with you in this book. I do have a system, and I do believe it can help us fix some of our personal and social ills. But the story of the handshake is that it's not a system unique to me. In fact, countless people have gone through some form of this program before and didn't even know it. I'm here to draw attention to this program, to take it in hand and extract untapped potential from it. The skills that helped me succeed as an actor were the same skills that had helped me succeed as a person. They just happen to be the same skills that people are taught in acting classes. Shakespeare said that all the world's a stage, but we never take him seriously when we quote him about it. Instead, we treat it as a clever way for a playwright to elevate his art. But what if he meant it more literally than we think? Are we not all called upon to play roles in specific settings, reacting to characters over the course of events, as we're each trying to overcome some personal obstacle in our way? What if the reason we misunderstand the importance of performance in our everyday lives is simply that we misunderstand the nature of performance? I think the bard was right. The world's a stage. Therefore, we should learn how to move across that stage in the most competent and compelling way possible, in a way we can feel good about at the end of the day. You might think it's strange to speak of acting as a tool for living. If we're acting all the time, aren't we being fake or inauthentic? Aren't I supposed to be my true self? This is an understandable concern, but it misunderstands what acting is and what the self is. Acting, as I'll explain more later, depends on a search for truth, a truth that's a part of human nature. At the same time, the self is not simply one thing that's always the same, but a sophisticated variety of aspects and abilities that we draw upon when we need them. Sometimes I like to think about it as multiple dimensions. The theory goes that there are all these other versions of yourself in other dimensions, versions of you that made other choices and took different directions in life. Well, what if we used our imaginations to bring those other selves into this dimension, so they are all possibilities inside of us? It's kind of like that Jet Li film, The One. Lee plays a multiverse cop that travels to each of 124 dimensions to absorb the life forces of all his other selves so he can become the One. Lee's character has to kill his other selves. My way's a lot nicer, thankfully. But the results are the same. You can become all your best selves. Think about it. How would it feel to walk into any new situation and feel totally prepared to navigate it? What would it be like to know that you had the skills to rise to any occasion or adapt to any new situation? I believe we all can have access to this if we only put in the works on our thoughts and emotions. And the Performing Arts Toolkit provides us with the very exercise we need for that training. The best part is it's all teachable, and it's become my purpose to show others how they can use this Performing Arts Toolkits to unlock all their best selves and change how they move through their daily lives. That's what I want to show you in this book. The flip side is that corporations, politicians, marketers, and technology companies are all studying human behavior and motivation for the purpose of influencing our behaviors, especially when it comes to what we buy. We already know this is happening, so why wouldn't we equip ourselves to confront this reality? You'll never outspend or out-research these groups all by yourself. But one thing they'll never fully grasp is you, your whole complex self, all yourselves. They will try to play on your ambitions and on your fears, aspects of your best and worst selves. If you are in control of yourself, however, you undermine their ability to manipulate you. Self-mastery has long been held as the most important form of freedom. It's up to you to break the shackles.